How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether price is going up or down. Over on Dixie for the daily, we are pulling back. Stochastic and RSI are starting to run away. VWAP is favoring bearish. Momentum is breaking down. Money flow is selling off, so I would exercise caution. This could mean Dixie could continue to slide, but that's good for crypto because remember, they are inversely related. Over on Bitcoin dominance for the daily, we are kind of zigzagging around. We do have a consolidation range. It is after a short breakdown, so this could be a technical bear flag that could make dominance decrease, which would mean Bitcoin would perform worse than our altcoins. Our side does want to push up. Momentum is trying to push forward as that VWAP does want to gain strength. Watch if it holds above this neutral. If it does, dominance could do better, and that would mean Bitcoin would perform better than altcoins. Over on total for the daily, we did push into that golden pocket zone where we did mention, but we stopped short. I would watch if we are not able to break above and hold, then we could end up rounding away, but currently we are continuing along our double bottom possibility, and we are starting to break to the bullish side of our EMA band. If we continue above this EMA band, we could start to see more bullish momentum. Our sign Stochastic do want to push forward, and Stochastic is a little bit overbought, so I would just watch. Momentum is pushing up, VWAP is pushing forward, money flow is gaining strength, so we are doing pretty decent. Over on the 4 hour, we do have a green dot. I don't trade on these. These do signal we want to push up though. Stochastic is pushing up, RSI is pushing forward. As a result, momentum is gaining strength because VWAP is favoring bullish, which is giving that money flow strength to continue into the green. Over on our 2 hour, we are seeing a little bit of an indecision candle. Watch if this is followed by a red candle. If so, we could see a rounding top, and that rounding top would retest that 602. Remember, that would be positive because you don't want to just shoot straight up. If you shoot straight up, you will come crashing down. Stochastic does want to round, RSI is starting to round, momentum does want to round as that VWAP sells off, so watch that close because money flow could start to stagnate. Over on the 1 hour, momentum is rounding with the double red dot. Stochastic and RSI are pulling back. Money flow does want to sell off as that VWAP did break bearish. Watch that VWAP close. If it continues below this neutral, we will see the momentum round away. Money flow will weaken and higher time frames would weaken. That would mean our altcoins in general would end up selling off. Over on Bitcoin futures, so the daily, we are bouncing forward. We are continuing along this channel, so I would watch. We did break that point control though, so our next stop is at 65.5. Stochastic does want to round away, RSI is pushing forward, VWAP is pushing up, momentum is gaining strength, and money flow is pushing up. So you might be wondering what caused Bitcoin to run up, and we did get an announcement that we may get 100 BP cut for interest rates. That is positive. That means we go from about 5.5, 5.25 to about 4.5, 4.25. Our VWAP does want to push up, momentum does want to gain strength, so that could be positive, providing we see continued bullish momentum. We are above our 300 EMA on the 4 hour. Stochastic is pushing up, momentum is gaining strength. VWAP is continuing with higher highs and higher lows, pushing momentum and money flow up. This is positive. Remember, futures does lead Bitcoin, so if futures stays positive and above that 300 EMA, we're likely going to see Bitcoin run up as well. Stochastic is pushing up. We are starting to curl because we are overbought. We really don't have much further we can go. We could stay overbought for some time and then end up breaking down, but I would just err on this side of caution and watch very close if we start to round away. If we do, RSI could end up leading price action lower. VWAP is starting to round, so watch that VWAP close. We do look like we could scoop up for a higher low. If we get higher low followed by consistent or higher highs, we could see a strong run forward. Over on the 1 hour, momentum does want to round away as that VWAP is pulling back. Watch that VWAP. If it breaks this neutral and solidifies this lower low and then fails to get above that neutral, we will see momentum and money flow reverse. That will retrace our gains. We would retest that 61.7, and if we do not get a bullish break at that 61.7, we would end up breaking away. Over in the Discord, we did say to watch out for this long upper shadow. It could end up breaking you down. It did not because we wanted to watch for confirmation. Confirmation would have been a red candle. We got a green candle, and that green candle did give us some liftoff. So over on Bitcoin for the daily, if I can zoom to the right spot, we are trying to break that 63K. That is positive. Stochastic wants to head up. RSI is gaining strength. VWAP is running forward. Momentum is gaining strength. Money flow is continuing bullish. So the daily does look positive. Again, you want those lower time frames to stay positive. Over on the 4 hour, we are continuing above our EMA. I would watch. We do want a retest of that 300 EMA. Remember, if you shoot straight up, you will crash back down. VWAP does want to kind of stagnate. Watch that VWAP. If that VWAP rounds away, momentum will sell off, money flow will follow, and price action would drop. But we do look positive right now. Stochastic and RSI are pushing forward, so we do look decent, but the 2 hour does have an indecision candle. So again, watch for red candles. If we get red candles, we could get some retests. Stochastic does want to pull back. RSI is starting to round away. Momentum does want to round. VWAP is pulling back, so watch for a break of that neutral. If we get the break of that neutral, that's where we could see those retests. So over on the 1 hour here, we are seeing a bit of a push forward. We did try to get a long upper shadow candle, but we are getting a green candle. This could show that the bears did try to break us down, but the bulls are trying to fight against them. Momentum does want to round with a double red dot as VWAP does break down, so watch that VWAP. We need a higher low with higher highs to keep momentum bullish, keep money flow going, and help solidify our higher time frames. If that VWAP ends up making lower lows, then gets lower highs, momentum will round away, money flow would break down, and that could end up weakening higher time frames if that prolongs for several hours. Over on graph for the daily, we did break our 16,316, so we did continue up. We did say it was possible to continue forward, but you don't want to go for max pain or max gain. Stochastic does want to round away, RSI is pushing up, VWAP and momentum are bullish, helping push money flow up, so if they remain bullish on lower time frames, we could see money flow go from red to green and give us a bullish trend. Over on our 4 hour, we are coming against that 300 EMA. We need to break and hold above it if we're going to continue up. Our momentum does want to round, Stochastic does have a bullish cross, RSI is pushing forward, VWAP is staying bullish, but it's very weak, so I would watch. If that VWAP breaks neutral, we could see lower lows with lower highs. That will bring momentum and money flow lower. That would end up weakening our 4 hour and causing a sell-off. Over on the 2 hour, we do have bearish divergence. Watch for that. That's that red line on our momentum as we get lower highs on momentum and higher highs on price. Stochastic does want to round away. VWAP is starting to make a bearish trend with lower highs. Watch for lower lows. If we get lower lows, then can't cross above neutral, it's likely we would sell off. Money flow is pushing forward, so that is positive, but if that VWAP breaks down, that money flow will start to reverse. Over on the 1 hour, we do have a consolidation range after a push up. This could be a small bull flag, but we need that VWAP to make higher lows and then push for higher highs in order to see that play out. Momentum does want to push up. Stochastic is starting to round. Watch if Stochastic can stay above 30. If it can, RSI could push forward and price action could follow. That would in turn strengthen higher time frames, as if the 1 hour strengthens, higher time frames will strengthen. Over on Ankr for the daily, we did invalidate our rising channel here as well, so that is positive. Again, on that news of that BP cut. Our Stochastic does want to round, RSI is pushing up, VWAP is pretty flat, momentum is pushing up, and money flow does want to go from red to green, so I would watch lower time frames to see if they stay bullish. Over on the 1 hour, we did break, or 4 hour, sorry, we did break that 300 EMA and we are holding. I would watch the next candle. If the next candle is green and we make a bounce and break over that 2883 and hold, we could see a push up to that 3079. Momentum does want to round, Stochastic is pushing up, RSI is going flat, so I would watch that Stochastic close. VWAP is bullish with slightly higher highs and higher lows, and money flow is pushing up, so watch lower time frames. If they remain bullish, that 4 hour could gain further strength and push the daily up. I would err on the side of caution though, because on this 2 hour we do have a gap to the downside, and gaps have an 80% likelihood to fill. Our Stochastic does want to round, momentum does have a double red dot, that does want to bring it down. VWAP is trying to break bearish, so watch that VWAP. If we get lower lows and lower highs, that double red dot on momentum will bring us lower, and we would fill that gap. So over on the 1 hour, we don't quite have the same gap here, but is still there, right around that 27.99. So I would watch. That is a very narrow gap on the 1 hour. On the 2 hour, it's a little bit bigger, and it's at that 27.46. So two different spots for the gaps. Momentum does want to round away, Stochastic's pulling back, RSI is selling off, money flow is pulling back, and that VWAP is breaking down. So watch that VWAP close again. If it gets lower lows and lower highs, we would end up breaking away. Over on XRP for the daily, can't get the words out here. Stochastic does want to push up, RSI is pushing forward, momentum's gaining strength, VWAP is getting higher highs. Watch if we can round for a higher low. If we can, momentum will help push money flow further, and we could see that break forward. Over on the 4 hour here, our Stochastic is trying to run up, RSI is pushing forward, VWAP's gaining strength with higher highs and higher lows, so that does look very positive. Again, watch for lower time frames to continue that positivity. Over on the 2-hour, we could have a mini bull flag within our bull flag. That would give us a break forward. Stochastic does want to round away, RSI is starting to pull back, momentum does want to round with a red dot on that RSI, so I would watch. VWAP is pulling back, and money flow is pretty flat, so if that VWAP breaks for a lower low, we could end up breaking down, seeing momentum round, and money flow would reverse. However, if that VWAP does get a bounce off that neutral, we can continue a bullish trend. Over on the 1-hour, stochastic is rounding with orange above blue, but nothing to be worried about unless we break under that 30 and hold. RSI is pulling back, momentum is rounding, VWAP is pulling back, and money flow does want to round away, so watch that VWAP close. We do have higher highs and higher lows, but we did try to hold bearish back here, so I would watch if we break that neutral again, and then we cannot get back above it. That's where we would end up selling off. So last but not least, since there's no comments or no requests, we have ALGO for the daily. We are pushing above that 1350. That is positive. VWAP is pulling back. Momentum is running up. Money flow is pushing forward. Stochastic is pushing up. RSI is pushing forward. So the daily does look good. It does look like we are continuing a bullish trend. But remember, if the rest of the market ends up pulling back, ALGO likely would follow. Over on our 4-hour, we are well above that 300 EMA. We are doing pretty decently, pushing up midway between our 1618 and our 1350. Stochastic is pushing up, VWAP is favoring bullish, money flow is bullish. Stochastic does want to lead RSI up, so far the 4-hour does look positive. We are continuing above EMAs, seeing EMA crosses above those lower EMAs, are crossing above our higher EMAs. So that is positive. As these lower EMAs get above our higher EMAs, like the black and gray, we do have more bullish momentum that can push us forward. Over on the 2-hour, we are rounding away, so I would watch. Stochastic wants to pull back. RSI is starting to pull back. VWAP does have lower highs, so watch for a lower low. If we get a lower low, momentum would break down, money flow would reverse, and we would start to weaken. So that would give us a retest of that 1350 possibly. If we do not hold right around, I would say this 13917. Or 1397, sorry, can't read apparently. Stochastic does want to break down, RSI is pulling back, momentum does want to round, VWAP is breaking for a consistent low after getting a lower high, so I would watch that very close. If we continue to favor bearish here, momentum will push down, money flow will reverse, and we would end up seeing a sell-off. Thank you for watching tonight's video, I appreciate all of you, have a great night.